California's gold is seen statewide on California Public Television. This series is endorsed by the California Teachers Association, the California School Boards Association, and the California Library Association. Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell. Get ready for an adventure that has a big surprise in it. Now let me set this up for you. Right now we're in Santa Barbara, beautiful Santa Barbara with the mountains off in the distance. We're on Haley Street. That's State Street right here, the main street in town that everybody knows about, State Street. And I love to come to Santa Barbara. The last time I was up here, I had seen something or heard something. Somebody had told me about this new structure that had been built here in downtown Santa Barbara that I just had to see. So I went in search of it and ended up driving around in circles for almost an hour, getting lost and not knowing where I was until finally I stumbled upon it. And here it is, right down this alley. And what had thrown me off was this alley really doesn't have a name to it. It's not a street. It's just an alley. This is the back of stores right over here with the service entrances in the back. You walk down this alley. Now the first hint you know that something special is going on back here is this beautiful fence with these trees and this landscaping, the brickwork. So you know something good's going on back here. We're going to recreate history right here. I turn this corner, and look, he's doing the same thing today he was doing a couple of months ago. Come on over, Neil.
I know you.
Introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm Neil Ablitt, and I met you a couple of months ago.
Well, you did. I came wandering down the alley, and you were out here sweeping, just like you're doing today.
And I invited you in. You going to come in today?
Yes, I am. I'm back with the cameras this time. Now, let's set this up. Your place of business, and the name of your family's store is what?
Ablitt's Fine Cleaners.
Okay, so your cleaners, your dry cleaners, have been a part of the landscape in Santa Barbara for a long time.
Oh, yeah, a long time. That's the roof over there.
So it's just half a block away.
Oh, yeah. But there's a lot between it, so I have to go around the block to get there.
To get to your house?
To get to the cleaners. And from the cleaners, I come around the block to get to the house.
Because look at this house. This is what we're here to see. It's kind of silhouetted in the sun, but it is a one-of-a-kind house, isn't it?
It's a 20 by 20 foot lot. I have a 6-inch setback all the way around. So it's really 19 by 19, 53 feet tall plus a ball, and it goes 45 feet into the ground caisson. So it's 800,000 pounds of concrete, 4 1/4 miles of rebar.
Now, how did you decide to build this thing? Not many people build a house like this.
We're extremely lucky, extremely fortunate. We're blessed. We happen to meet a talented architect, Jeff Shelton, and a talented
local,
contractor. Yeah, Dan Upton and Shelton are a team that have built some spectacular places. But when they learned I had a 20 by 20 foot lot, I mean, Jeff was so busy, he wasn't taking any jobs. But when he heard a 20 by 20, he said, we're going to build.
It was a challenge.
It was a challenge.
Now, had you thought about living in a little, I say a little house like this, you've got a lot of square footage,
well,
don't you?
For 14 years, my wife and I lived on a sailboat. So this is a big house for us.
Wait a minute, you lived on a sailboat here in Santa Barbara?
Well, 7 years in Santa Barbara, 7 years in Mexico. And when we came back, we saw one of the houses they had built. It was just incredible. And I met him, and we hit it off. And when he saw the piece of property, he said, we got to build. Now, I had bought it in '84.
The land?
The land. Because I needed to get a Haley Street address, because my address was Gutierrez, and I wanted to get on the Parking District Commission. But you needed a Haley Street address, because they were putting in parking lots, and I had heard a rumor they might be after the family property. Well, I never got on the parking district, but I did get this piece of land.
You got a house. Well, now look, let's start the tour over here. What is this little area right here? This is kind of a little garden area right here. What's the deal?
Well, actually, it's the Holiday Inn Express property.
Oh,
right here.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't know it until we did the survey.
Wow. And so that's the Holiday Inn
Yeah,
Express
yeah.
palm tree,
Oh yeah.
which goes
yeah.
perfectly. Look
Oh,
at
yeah.
this up against the house. It's just spectacular the way the palm tree goes up. And this is called the
Ablitt House.
Ablitt House, established 2006.
Yeah.
So what was the concept of...
I needed a parking space, so I made a deal with a hotel. I would build the wall, put the fountain in, do all the flagstone if I could use it. I'll never claim it, but use it. And being a great Holiday Inn Express people they are, we shook hands, and they got a beautiful wall, a beautiful fountain. And this property actually right here is theirs, but it looks like ours.
Oh, back in the back in here.
Yeah.
But look at this house. Look at this tile work. Now, what was the philosophy of architecture for this thing? Look at this. This is just spectacular. I'm not sure I'd ever really looked at it quite. I hadn't really analyzed it. I was just so glad to be here.
It's called Shelton East, or Shelton East. It's his design. He likes Moroccan, he likes Mexican, he likes Gaudi, and he just kind of mixes it all in. And it's my job, and this is the truth, was to sweep the alley, keep my mouth shut, and stay out of the way.
So he literally
had carte blanche.
So he could have come up with anything.
He did.
Oh.
He asked my wife what she liked. She said, I like tile, I like books, and I like wine. And that's all the input we had, other than she chose to color the stove. So these guys could just have carte blanche. They probably the only time in their career that they could do anything they wanted.
Is this a garage? What is this?
Yeah, it's a garage. I'm laughing because they wanted to live downtown and walk to work, but the building department requires you to have a garage. So the message is, do they want you to get a car? But anyway, the city council
was a garage with no car.
Well, not yet.
Oh, wow, this is the fanciest garage I've ever seen.
Well,
look at this tile on the floor.
The architect and the contractor drove down to Mexico to find the factory to make this. This is compressed concrete tile. They found the factory, Old Mission Tile, in San Luis Potosi. The architect designed everything here. The architect designed himself. And each floor is the same, a different pattern. You'll see that.
Well, what do you use this for?
Well,
I see you got a washer and dryer over here.
Oh yeah, washer, dryer.
But you don't park, you've never parked a car in here, have you?
We have a little two-seater, and in the summertime, I'll park it in here. But generally, we use it for storage, because there's not a whole lot of closet space.
And you're downtown, so you probably just can walk everywhere.
We're 1.5 block off State Street. Within 11 minutes, you're at one end of town or down at the wharf. You couldn't be more centrally located. Wow. It's beautiful. Every Tuesday, we've got our farmers market. But anyway, let me tell you about the construction. This is all poured concrete. There's no structural wood whatsoever.
Oh boy.
There's 8 inches of poured concrete, a 6-inch metal stud, a 5/8 gypsum board, 2 layers of plaster, and 40 gallons of paint.
Wow.
These are not windows, and don't call them a window because we can't have them. This side, and that side, it's a translucent wall. That meets the fire code.
This is a wall.
It meets the fire code. It's 1 5/8 inches thick. It's the 1 to 3 hour. That's because we're building up to the lot line. Actually, the engineer put us back 6 inches. So we're 6 inches from the lot
everything
line.
you see out here belongs to the Holiday Inn.
That's true. This is 600 pounds, by the way. That one's 500 pounds.
Oh, look over here.
All 3 walls.
Now, what is this? This is all your electrical and water and everything.
This is our radiant heat. This little boiler heats all 4 floors. You've got hot water pouring through. It's set for 62 in the morning, 70 at night. My gas bill runs about $25 a month.
Wow. So this is a greenhouse in a way.
People misuse green. I mean, we tried to, yeah.
Well, you did it right.
Yeah. No air conditioning. It's concrete, so it keeps it nice and cool.
And look, here's your other window. Excuse me, it's not a window.
No, translucent wall.
It's a translucent wall. And that's looking out at the back of the buildings. That's looking towards your family business,
Right.
which is a half a block away.
Right.
Wow, this is...
And because we're in a commercial zone, we had to have a sprinkler system. Now, it's a concrete house, but we have sprinkler systems throughout. We didn't complain. We were getting...
You had to meet code.
Absolutely.
And you know what?
No complaints.
I bet when the code was drawn up for Santa Barbara, they didn't have a house like this to draw up a code for.
No.
I mean, this doesn't fit the normal footprint of what a house is and what needs to be in it.
As the architect says, we were pressing the boundaries a little bit, stretching the boundaries. But I mean, it's infill. As Jeff Shelton said, it's the fill before the infill. 20 by 20, beautiful house in the middle of the block. Most people can't find it.
Well, I hardly could get here, but look at this. This is so beautiful right here. Let's just take one more look at your little patio. This is where you'd normally park. Look down here, Cameron. This is where we came from, just down the alley. Now, I'm not the first person to come looking for this house. Let's break that myth up. How many tours, how many people come wandering down here a year looking for this place?
Daily there'll be people here. One of the local architects was before City Council. He made the comment that the Ablitt House had become the third most popular landmark in the city after the Mission, the courthouse, and the Ablitt House. Tongue in cheek, but we get a lot of people
hard to
down.
find this place.
People come down, take pictures. It's kind of, sometimes you lean over, look out, and they're looking right up at you. It's kind of, but at any rate, we felt we were so fortunate, so blessed. We said, how do we give back to the community? Because we have so much community support. You know, signing petitions and making talks on our behalf to support the project, the impossible project.
Impossible because you had to overcome, and we don't want to go into a lot of it.
Impossible to
a lot
get
of
through the
zoning, the
system,
system.
Impossible to build it the way it was designed, poured concrete with all that curvature, and impossible to get a funding from a lending institution.
But you got it. It all
three
worked.
On the coattails of Jeff Shelton and Dan Upton. Anyway, my wife said, let's give back by giving tours. I think she might be sorry she said it now, because we've had over 1,500 people come through.
Really?
Yeah. Some fascinating people, though. It's really fun. Generally, it's about 20, 25 people. We've had as many as 65 at one time, which is too many.
At one time?
Yeah. Well, we had a wedding here. Some movie people had a wedding. There were 85 people in here. They had 60 of them up on top. It was beautiful.
Well, this is exciting. We're getting ready to become the next person to take the tour because this is so, look at this door. Now this is just great. You got the flowers set up here.
Oh, yeah.
And there's the door that we're going to go in.
And if you look up above the door as you go in, you'll see the name of everybody that worked on the project. That's one of the signatures of Jeff Shelton's projects. His daughters, the architects and contractors' daughters, all made a pattern, and so Jeff memorialized it in tile. So that made them part of the build. So their name is up there, along with everybody else's.
Now, to me, this looks like just a banister, a fancy banister, but a banister for a staircase.
It's a work of art. It's the David Mosley work of art. It's black walnut. It's 108 feet long, continuous, all the way up to the rooftop. Not one piece, many pieces joined together, but done superbly.
So everything in this house really is kind of artistic.
It is a work of
very
art.
artistic. Look at this tile right here. What's the deal on the tile?
This is David Shelton's inspiration for this was leaves, and the floors were flowers. The steps are all tile, Italian marble.
I love the colors.
My high school friend, Mary Main, is a quilter.
This,
she made many quilts. You'll see more quilts up here of the same pattern.
So you got, I mean, everything here, there's a purpose. There's a reason why it's here.
Well, people love the house. They love to work on it. The artists love to work on it. They gave their all. We're very, very fortunate.
Let's go upstairs. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting them because there's 72 steps.
Remember I said we lived on a sailboat? Well, because they didn't want us to get too homesick, they put a little porthole here.
Little porthole. Second floor.
Oh yeah, come on up. This is the bedroom.
The first bedroom, because how many bedrooms you got in this house?
We have one bedroom, maybe two.
Wait a minute, so this is where you and your wife sleep here?
Yeah, this is the master bedroom. Originally there weren't doors, but Jeff Shelton has a complete...
Let's walk in a little bit. Now see, this is very small, really, isn't it?
It's the only small room in the house because originally we didn't have these doors, but Jeff Shelton had complete design control. He gets sinus headaches, so he said, I don't want to be at a party, get a headache, and not be able to shut myself off.
Well, yeah, you want doors on your bedroom.
Well, originally we did.
Look at these beautiful doors. Look
So that
at
was
this.
the challenge with those doors. How were we going to get the queen size bed in?
But
We
look
moved.
at the beauty of them. What is this
Wait,
made of?
that's black walnut and white oak.
Wow. And you had problems getting them.
Yeah, the bed, we moved in December. We didn't get the bed until May. It's modular design. If you look, the woodwork matches the pattern on the
I
floor.
got you. So just
And
to
then
get the
there's
bed
stuff-
in was
oh,
a
yeah.
big deal.
It came in modular pieces. Yeah, it took 5 months to
Well,
build.
but look,
But it's
you'd been
queen-size
living on a
bed.
boat all these years.
This is huge.
This is huge.
This is huge, yeah.
And you got a
Walk-in-
bathroom here.
Beautiful bathroom,
closets,
walk-in, they call them reach-in closets, but they're,
and this beautiful tile.
Oh, yeah.
And look at this, more of this beautiful wood on the doors. Boy, that really makes,
gorgeous.
everything here makes a statement.
Well, remember, she wanted books, tile, and wine, and here's the start of her books.
Oh,
I've
but
already seen some of the tile.
we got books
When we-
over here. Boy, you sure take advantage of every square inch in here, don't
That's true,
you?
that's true. The architect's absolute genius.
Look at this staircase here.
Oh, yeah.
This is beautiful,
Can you
too.
imagine the woodworker coordinating the effort with the ironworker? The ironworker, David Shelton, is the architect's brother. They couldn't be an eighth of an inch out.
And look at the windows, the way they
yeah.
cut into the side here.
Jeff,
Wow.
Jeff would hand draw those windows. I'll show you some more hand
Because they're
drawings.
not symmetrical, are they? I mean, they're a little off.
The contractor, Dan Upton, says Jeff's gift is he's able to balance asymmetrical designs.
Uh-huh. All right, here
More
we go.
gargoyles from Andy Johnson.
A gargoyle
There's
up
20
here.
All the knobs in the door are all stone,
Uh-huh.
Andy Johnson, and more up here.
Boy, look at this. All right, I'm counting steps.
Okay.
How many is this now? 20, 25,
About 28 by the time.
28 by the time we're up on the third floor. Here we are, getting ready to continue our home tour on the third floor. We're in the beautiful kitchen on the third floor, and we're shifting gears a little bit to the lady of the house here. Your name is?
Sue.
Nice to meet you, and your husband has already told us that you're beginning to get used to people tromping through your house at all hours of the day and night.
I am.
Did you know this was going to turn into a tour group that
No.
he's given every 5 minutes of every day?
No, I had no idea.
What do people say when they come into your house?
They love it.
Do they
love
feel
it.
like they're
They-
intruding in your private space, or do they?
Not so much. They feel at home.
And what do you want them
it's
to
joy.
feel like at home?
Well, they need to enjoy it. You bet.
Because the last time I was here, the first time I was here, I wouldn't let him bring me in the house because I said, your wife isn't expecting anybody, and it's nothing worse than going into somebody's house unannounced.
Well, I leave.
He's the tour guide. You get out of here.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us about this kitchen. This is a huge room. This is a big kitchen.
It's beautiful. I love it. The only thing I didn't want was stainless steel. So I said, we need a blue stove. And the architect took it from there.
And everything else was a total surprise when you walked in here.
Absolutely.
Were you
Yes.
happy with the place?
I love it. Yes.
Are you a cook? Because obviously this is a kitchen made for a good cook.
No, we invite cooks. Do you cook?
No, you've invited the wrong person. But it's beautiful, and I look at this, the little windows here, and looking out here at the mountains and the trees. It's just one of these, I mean, this is a very special place.
It is. You'll have to come stay.
Well, where would I stay?
We move down to the boat when people come into town. Like our friends are here now. They'll stay in the house and we'll go down the boat.
So you really, your heart is still in many ways on that boat.
Oh, of course. Yes.
That's another whole story, people trying to figure out how you could put up living on a boat all those years.
Well, it works.
Yeah.
So we're getting spoiled in here now. The sink on the boat is this size right here, and we had 2 propane burners.
And you pump it.
And now I have this huge sink with
Don't open that.
okay.
See, there you go, see, that's why I didn't come up here the last time.
Does this say?
That's it.
Okay, this is our wine cooler.
Oh, there's the wine over there, and look, I noticed this when I walked in the door.
Each one of those has its own tile. At the
Here's
end
more
of it.
wine in here.
How
'Cause-
about 2 freezers? On a boat for 14 years, we never had a freezer. Now we have 2.
Oh my gosh.
You don't know what to put in them.
So you're in heaven here in this
I am.
place. Now, how many floors does this place have?
It's a 3-story house on top of a 1-story garage with a rooftop patio.
Okay, so we've been to the garage, the first bedroom, the only bedroom, the kitchen, and then there's 2 more floors ahead?
Another
All right.
kitchen?
A what?
Another kitchen?
You're kidding. Another kitchen for a lady who doesn't like to cook. Here we go. We're going up to what is this, the 3rd?
Now this is the 4th floor.
The
This is
fourth
the
floor.
living room, which is the architect's favorite room, and it's Sue's favorite room. Actually, a lot of people love it. If you meditate, this is the place to be.
Still counting the steps.
Getting close.
Look at this.
These are the keyhole windows that are coming to be one of the signature aspects of the house, along with the 108-foot handrail.
Keyhole windows.
Built by Royce, 4 blocks from here. It took David Mosley, who did the handrail, and 2 helpers 2 weeks to install these windows.
Oh, look. I don't think have you ever seen a keyhole window before?
No, never.
You might have some in Morocco.
Oh, wow. Now see, and looking out, now see, I want to look up at the mountains, but I'm seeing these buildings, which is kind of urban, and I guess part of it, but you don't have to see the buildings, do you?
This was the architect would talk about the opaque windows to change the viewscape. If you sit down in the chair, you go from city living to country living.
So from the chair, you're looking out,
Viewscape changes
and you
dramatically.
miss all of these buildings down here, and you're just seeing the sky.
Same thing in the kitchen.
But in a way, it kind of connects you with the city of Santa Barbara by seeing the buildings. How much time do you all spend up here?
Not a lot.
We're in the kitchen most and in the rooftop second.
Really?
Yeah, I think she's in the living room here. She reads up here a lot. A lot of people, when I gave my first tour, I was doing them every hour. When I brought the second group up, there were still people from the first group sitting up here. It was kind of
people
embarrassing.
like to sit
they
up
love
here.
it.
Let's sit down for a minute and get the idea, because when you're seated, boy, you really do
Oh, yeah.
get the view of the mountains and not of the city. It really does give you, the way it's configured, you're looking out at the mountains.
Absolutely amazing how he could see in advance everything you were going to look at, how he placed the windows on the side. Oh, and I think he'd probably want me to point out that television is a very temporary thing. They're doing just some testing. The original, or the final TV will be up on the ceiling that'll come down.
Because you don't want to interfere with
Oh,
the
no.
view through the keyhole windows.
No.
Well, we're almost to the end of the tour. There's more above.
There's more about.
All right,
Are
we're
you
gonna.
able to make
I'm
it
ready.
for
I'm going to make all 70. What is it? 72 or 78? 72 steps. Here we go.
Okay.
We're heading up the last set of steps right here. Okay, we have arrived on the rooftop.
Welcome to the rooftop.
Too bad you got such a lousy view out here. Now, what do y'all do up here? Tell me what you told me walking up the steps when I said, what do y'all do up
beer.
They drink beer up here. Or wine, because you got
wine.
lots of wine.
Probably more wine than beer.
But this is spectacular up
Oh, it is.
here.
It is. We have a barbecue here, and we have a window through a window, so we have a view here. We have a workbench.
Do
We've
you
got
eat
a
up
burner.
here? Do you cook up
We
here?
cook up here. We don't really eat. And our Italian sink and a refrigerator. So it is 2 kitchens, 1 bedroom.
What is
and our
this
bench.
over here?
Our bench.
Here, I'm going to have both of y'all sit up there. Do you all actually come up here and sit?
With friends. When we're alone, we just Well, yeah, we come up here.
Depends on
But
the
we
weather.
don't sit here. We sit in our chairs down there.
Yeah.
But we barbecue up here a lot.
And what's the deal on the
Oh,
roof?
yeah. The architect calls that a cross between Islamic zigzag and Charlie Brown's T-shirt. And if you look at the V, the bottom green V, the upper right-hand corner, you've got 1/4 of an inch of tile adjacent to 1/8 of an inch of white, green and white. It's the kind of detail that a tile contractor that came through on a tour said he'd never seen in his career. The tile in the kitchen and the tile up here. Contractor says there's over 10,000 tiles and 100,000 tile cuts.
Wow.
It's amazing. The architect, this was all poured concrete. They had to form this and then fill the concrete in. There's no structural wood. And the architect would come over here, and that was all just gray concrete with a 3x5 card and a magic marker, and he freehand draw that design.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
I bet you have artisans, artists from all over the world who are just amazed at the intricate work that's all over.
Oh yeah,
This
we've had
house.
people from Moscow, from Germany. We had a whole group from China. They all signed the guest book, which I hope you will sign the guest book in the Chinese characters. And then to top it off, the architect's niece, Gabby, in Brooklyn, does castings.
Oh, boy, I bet the neighbors like that.
They can't hear it.
Actually, they did it so clever. They have it high enough that you can barely hear it at street level.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was
They didn't miss a trick.
No,
They didn't
no,
miss a
no.
trick.
And
Thank you so much. This is more than I expected. I mean, it is a beautiful home from the outside, but on the inside, and to realize that you all.
It was a house built with love.
It
Everyone
was.
loved working on it, and they loved coming here, and we love living here.
I was going to say you love living here, but you love sharing it with people, don't you?
It's a work of art. It's a work of art. You've got to share it with everybody. It's our
I
legacy.
said he loves sharing it. You leave. We're just glad you stayed for the tour. Now I know why I didn't meet you the first time.
That's right.
You already left. Thank you all so
My
much.
pleasure.
This
My
is
pleasure.
This
Glad to
the
have
house is known. Does it have a? How do the people in Santa Barbara refer to this house? What do they?
Ablitt Tower.
They just say Ablitt
We're
Tower.
Ablitt House, Ablitt House. If you Google Ablitt House, there's all kind of people have come and taken movies in the alley, and they put them on Facebook or whatnot. And
This all came as a surprise to you, didn't
Oh.
it? That all this attention was going to come.
Oh, we never thought we'd ever use this property. We never thought we'd be able to build on it because you need a 10-foot setback in this area, and we only were 20 by 20.
Yeah.
But Jeff Sheldon came up with the mixed use idea, which eliminated the setback, and that started the ball rolling, and then we
Wow.
got the variances. But
Well, you
we're
got
blessed.
it done
We're
with the
blessed.
help of a lot of people in town. Thank you very much.
you for coming.
I hope this program doesn't spur on too many people
no.
coming
You're
by.
welcome.
Well, you'll have to come back because new things are happening all the
I
time.
can
yeah.
tell this is an evolving dream.
Yes.
But the point is, this is a dream come true. The Ablitt House, Ablitt Tower, here in downtown Santa Barbara. We've had a wonderful day. Thank you
Enjoyed
very
it
much
very much.
for the
Enjoyed it
tour.
very much.
Now I'm going to go down and get one of those books out of your bookcase and get some wine out of one of those.
Okay, come on down.
We're going to end up the afternoon
It's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere.
here in Santa Barbara. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Huell Hauser, and you know, it doesn't get any more creative or beautiful than the Ablitt House in Santa Barbara. And if you'd like to go on this home tour again or share it with family or friends, it's available on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727, and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.